This is Red. Red enjoys the simple things in life, like a good car wash, or a refreshing, energizing pint after work. And of course, the delightful presence of the Japanese beauty Sui. That sometimes makes him stall. But sadly, Red seldom gets to enjoy the simple things in life because Red is always late. Red has a small and seemingly unimportant personal problem, an issue that has a crippling effect in his life, breaking his speed and smothering the very life out of him. Red cannot overtake. On Wednesdays, Red makes his way to Sam's for his weekly wash and wax. But regrettably, more often than not, Red succumbs to a choking fear that throttles his injectors, resulting in his delayed arrival. Red frequently has to cope with the reality of postponed fulfillment of his octane supplement shake due to being overtaken by fear. The dreaded fear of overtaking. Ultimately leading to yet another valve-clogging, lead-loaded drive-through drink. And as per usual, a lonely night at home. Red can still deal with the self-inflicted distress of his poor body image and sad social life. But worst of all is the overwhelming agony of knowing he blew his one chance with the love of his life. It took every ounce of horsepower he had to ask her out. With firing spark plugs and his heart racing at 12,000 RPM, Red was ready to declare his undying love. But as usual, Red couldn't quite get there on time. As always, Red was moving, but just not fast enough. And eventually, Sui gave up on him and retired home. Red didn't understand why he was afraid to overtake. After all, his Uncle Red 2.0 never had any issues. But Uncle Red had now passed from this life to another, which meant Red would need to approach Aunt Blue. So he conjured up all the courage he could and went to Aunt Blue and asked, "What was his secret, Aunt Blue?" Aunt Blue just stared at him, then snorted and said, "Boy, have a look under your hood." "Excuse me?" Red retorted. "Under your hood. Look inside, boy," she said. "You're a GT, but you drive like a beetle, crawling around like you're afraid someone was gonna step on you." Aunt Blue did not mince her words. "You don't know who you are, boy. You don't know your own identity. You've gotta find it inside of you. Look under your hood. You are a V8. Now live like someone who has a V8. Red reluctantly released the hatch of his hood. What if he was only a 4-pod? Was that his carburetor choking up? He stared in shock. No carburetor. Just a shining fuel injector system on top of a supercharged V8. Without thinking, he revved. "Oh," he said to himself. "Oh, indeed," said Aunt Blue. He rushed out onto the highway and sped past a white MX-5. In his rear view mirror, he saw a giggling Sui. What joy to not be held back by his fear of not being good enough. Red was free. He could overtake. because under his hood was a powerful V8 engine. In fact, he started loving his newfound power, and he never came late again.